Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's part 90 today and we are back for our first English Domestic Cup final. We face lower league Sheffield United, a championship side currently managed by Eddie Howe. And at Wembley, we're heavy favourites to win the Carabao Cup and keep our run of trophies going. We won the Premier League last year. If we can win this one, it just takes all of the pressure off the rest of the season. As it happens, we're flying, we're having a good run in the FA Cup, but to get one in the bag would be exactly what we need. There's still a few problems to talk about as well, we'll get to those in a moment, but if you're looking forward to the showpiece event at Wembley, please do put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories, and of course a massive thank you for your continued support. You can see all the new playlists and videos in the eye above, and a link to the Twitch channel in the description below. But let's go and talk about Tottenham Hotspur, because it's been a busy old month since we were here last. Of course, it was a very quiet transfer window, but that has been followed by fireworks in different ways on and off the pitch. Now, domestically, we have been atrocious on the road. In terms of our Premier League matches, I'm just looking back now, 5 consecutive away defeats, 6 in 7 if you want to go a bit further back. However, on the road in the FA Cup, and particularly on the road in Europe, we were absolutely scintillating. This one today, not exactly a home game, but at Wembley, not far from home. Certainly more of a home game for us than Sheffield United. And at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, we've been unbelievable. So you were with me for the City game and the North London derby. 5 games since then, and we've won the ones that matter. We won 2-0 away at Blackburn in the FA Cup replay. Esposito and Thomas Parks for the backup side. A narrow 1-0 defeat at Manchester United. A pretty even game, but we just didn't have the cutting edge. A 4-0 win away from home at Juventus. Performance of the season, this one. Pereira with a brace, Santos with 1, Scotta with 1. And our best away performance in months. A 1-0 defeat followed away at Brighton. The European hangover came back. For some reason, after a Tuesday night in Italy, we were playing on Friday night. Who on earth decided that? I don't know. If it had been a day later, I think it might have been a different story. But most of the stars, you can see Pereira, Santos, the stars from the Tuesday night match, they just had a bit of a hangover. It didn't quite work out. But we bounced back with our backup side in midweek, a 3-0 win at home to West Ham, who are bottom of the league. Kobos, Parks, Farrell had wrapped it up in 25 minutes. We were just really solid. It was a good performance, it was consistent, it was efficient, and West Ham didn't look like getting a goal. So we come into this one with our first team well rested. Sheffield United, by the looks of it, loads of players ineligible and cup tied, 1 injured as well. We'll have a look at how they're getting on, because of course we're missing Patrick Southern for this one. But let's see what shape Sheffield United are in. Our FA Cup tie, the next match, is at home to League 2 Doncaster, so we shouldn't be under too much pressure, particularly in terms of keeping people fit. Dembele's their star man. They are second in the Championship, in fairness. They only came down from the Premier League last year, and they're going to be straight back up this season. So before that, they'd been a Premier League side for 8 consecutive seasons, or 7, consecutive seasons. So it's not like they're one of the sort of mid-table Championship clubs we'd expect to beat. Dembele, their star man, is on 83 grand a week. He's 3-star by our standards, better than most of our backup players. So it's certainly not going to be an easy game, but it's Premier League v Championship, and we should be expected to win it. They've got some quality players up there. Harvey Vale, another one of those experienced one. Silas, the Congolese striker, is a quality footballer. Electric quick up there as well. Nicolo Armini, Italian international defender. You can't do much better than that. They're always solid. So lots of good players, lots of experience. A familiar name as well in Dominic Goslin, who we had at Southampton in our stint there. He's now a very solid player as well. Capped at youth international level for England. Paul Hughes is the injured one. That's going to be a relatively big miss for them. In terms of their cup-tied players, though, it's not many of the first teamers. What we have got to look at, though, I'm just going further down the squad. 3 of their players are on loan from us. So Andre Barnes has played 35 Championship matches for them. He's their first choice right back, but he's on loan from us, so can't play. Richard Bentil is their first choice left back on loan from us, can't play. And Nassim Johnson, who is a backup midfielder and left back, who started 2/3 of their Championship games, also a left back, can't play. So are they going to be short of fullbacks or having to force centre-halves out? That could benefit us. They've still got the experience of the likes of Dele Alli, who was at Tottenham when we joined, of course, went to Sheffield United in our first summer, The director of football sold him. He's still there on 100 grand a week. 6 goals, 6 assists in 14 league starts. He's definitely got a threat. We'll give him that. But overall, given the players they've got out, given the fact their defence will be disrupted, we should be beating them. However, it's not going to be quite as easy as we think, and they will be a Premier League side next year. Eddie Howe certainly going to bring them back up. But otherwise, we're not going to have to worry about the Doncaster game. We're not going to have to worry about our former club derby. And what was going to be billed as our big tie against Juventus in the second leg of the first knockout round, it's basically a chance for us to play the kids now, because we're in that much of the ascendancy. We're looking forward to the quarter-final. What I am a little bit worried about is our away league form, because although we've got a couple of easier on paper away games coming up, after 4 home games in succession, our last 4 away league games of the season are Liverpool, Manchester City, our former club Southampton and Leicester, who are always dangerous despite a poor season this year. And if we have a look at those, Derby and Southampton are former clubs fighting it out to avoid relegation there. We are in a little spot of bother. We're just 7 points clear of Arsenal, just 9 points clear of Leeds, and even City starting to make a comeback now. But the problem we have is that we just can't buy a win away from home. You can see of that top 7, only Leeds have lost 1 more. Liverpool in 4th behind us. Yes, they've drawn a lot, but they've not lost many games. And if I show you it in terms of home and away record, you'll see the difference that I mean. So home record, we are top of the league. 113, drawn 1, lost none. Just that 0-0 at home to United, which we saw on camera. If we go to the away record though, we're starting to struggle to get into Europe. Just 19 points off 13 games. We've lost our last 5, which has really changed that. I guess before that, 6 wins, a draw and a defeat, you would have taken. But we're in real trouble now. So Tottenham Hotspur certainly got to improve on the road. And we might have to tweak tactically to try and make that happen. Maybe just start a bit more cautiously and we'll work through the game as we go. But no more transfer news. A few players being linked with sales away, as particularly some to the MLS and things like that. Siunchu being one of them. Didn't happen. And there's a few sell-on clauses. So Gonzalo Sila's one of them. He went in the summer, but none of that's been done by the director of football yet. So we're in a pretty steady position. The club atmosphere is still alright. We're in a good position for the final. But at the moment, it doesn't look like we've got the strength on the road. So the fact that this is a neutral game does worry me, because anything but our home stadium, and in the league and in domestic fixtures, I'm not 100% confident. So Championship Sheffield United have got nothing to lose. They are in the League Cup final. They've got a chance to get promoted and get into Europe in the same season. For us, we've got to try and do what everyone expects us to do. If we win, they'll say, well, you should have anyway. If we lose, they'll say, what on earth's going on? But let's go and get the first 11 pick for today. A lovely full house in the pouring rain at London's National Stadium. Now let's go and have a look at what our assistant has picked. So according to him, Montalval has now overtaken Scotter in terms of average rating. He's got 4-star ability. So Montalval looks like that. Scotter, I'm not so sure at this stage. I might change it back just for today. But particularly with Montalval in good form, I think we have to keep him. Because he might score that screamer. He might score the one that wins it. I've bought Kemi Yildiz in for Franco Espinosa because he's been in better form of the 2 left wingers. And we could really do with Perea finding his best today as well. Aside from that, let's go and make a couple of tweaks to the bench. We've got the 2 defenders we normally have. But one of them today is going to be Morato. He'll be there instead of Siunchu, who's unhappy at the club. Want a happy dressing room. That's the most important thing. In centre midfield, Lee Farrell will be on there. Do I put a keeper on the bench for the final? I'm not gonna do it. Freddie Woodman misses out. The lineup for today is Loic Willems in goal. Sailmakers and Aaron Smith are the fullbacks. LaMonaco in for the cup-tied Southern at centre-half. He's 3-star now. He is improving slightly, and he should be good enough at this level. He's alongside Anashe, the young Romanian, who continues to do brilliantly, the wonder kid. In midfield is Rayner and Montalval. Ryan Wright as the number 10. Joel Santos, bit of a weird one on the right wing. Has a brilliant game, an awful game, a brilliant game, an awful game. Can't quite read him at the moment, but if he goes on his normal pattern, today should be one of his good ones. A Yildiz on the left, Perea up front. And we just need a hero or 2 in this one. No big game bottle jobs. Let's get the trophy won efficiently. And then we can focus on the big ones this season. Can we take the pressure off the rest of the year? Can we beat lower league opposition in a League Cup final? Or are we going to get embarrassed on the biggest stage? Let's go and find out. Let me know what you think in the comments. No cheating. And we'll see if we can win the League Cup final. So all those boys we're used to seeing are in that Sheffield United team. They're down to third choice left back, who's still pretty good to be fair. But the likes of Dembele, Vale, Silas the striker is in there as well. And Dominic Gosling does start in centre midfield with our former player Dele Alli on the bench. Santiago the skipper at centre half, Loic Willems between the stick holds that duty for us. So let's go and tell the lads to do it for the fans. Pereira's motivated. We'd love a big game from him. Or at least a poacher's instinct. That's what we're looking for. Let's get into the first half and see if we can produce it. Through the tunnel interview, psychologically, we want to be in the right place. That's not Wembley Stadium. Or is it? It doesn't look quite the same size, but we'll go and look at that later on. It was a 90,000 sellout. Looks very different to normal. We're 5 minutes gone, no highlights, and we're back with Ryan Wright. Skins 2 in the box. It's a very strange time to come back. Armini gets it away to Dembele. Goes back across his own box, and the clearance is poor. Only finds Santos. He gives it to Reina. Out to Sailmakers, right hand side to Reina. Gets into the box, finds Ryan Wright. I thought the offside flag was going up. It looked like it was off. But the right back must have played him on. Ryan Wright in that number 10 role, really finding his form this season. And with 4 minutes gone, we lead at Wembley Stadium. The perfect start for Tottenham Hotspur. And it's a goal kick for Sheffield United. Long ball down the right. Smith's going to get there first. Finds Montalval, who finds Yildiz. Down the line to Pereira. Now can we get support in the box with a striker drawn wide? Gets to the byline in towards Santos. And the keeper comes and holds well. Good handling there. Didn't let it squirm through. Didn't parry it into the path of an attacker. And the long goal kick's flicked on. Silas has got in here. That is far too easy for my liking. I know LaMonaco's not normally in that back four. But we can't be done over the top like that. Sheffield United have actually had more shots on target. As Yildiz picks it up just inside their half. He's run across to the right hand side. Santos is with him. Instead goes back to Sailmakers. To Montalval. Does he fancy a long range special today? We'll wait and see. He's got a man over on the left if he can find them. Instead, a brilliant reverse ball to Pereira. It's a good block by the centre half. It was a wonderful pass through. The long ball forward though only finds Anache. He gives it to Ryan Wright. To Pereira. Turns back to Reina. Out to Santos. Cutting inside. He's got Pereira running off him. Sailmakers is wide. Chips into the back stick. A Yildiz headed over the bar. Probably shouldn't have missed that by such a distance. At least had to make the keeper work, you would have argued. Tottenham still not hitting the target with their shots, but we're dominating the match now. As Reina delivers from the right. Anache heads 130 yards over. What is going on with the finishing there? Every headed chance is flying into the second tier. Really poor finishing. As it is though, with half an hour gone, we've got to be happy. We've got to be content. As we look pretty comfortable, we're dominating the match. But it's a Sheffield United corner. It only takes 1 minute to change it. LaMonaco beats Gosling in the air. Now Ryan Wright can counter. Tottenham throwing men forward. Pereira's up there anyway. Wright's going alone. Gets into the box. Can he beat his man? Pereira's in the middle. Goes alone. And it hits the post. It gets cleared away. Aaron Smith is there first. And it peters out. But what a chance that was to double the lead. Still only one shot on target though. For all the dominance, the second goal hasn't been forthcoming. At half-time, it is a 1-0 lead though. We'll take it. We'll tell the lads to keep it up. We'll try and produce something more in the second half. I want to try and do this in style now. Efficient, 2-3, 4-0 would be lovely. But we can't concede. We can't be under pressure. Because Sheffield United still creating chances here. And with an hour on the clock, I'm going to make the first changes. The winger on the left is disappointing me, Yildiz. So Franco Espinosa back in for this one. We've got a Coney as a sub on the right. We could do the Thomas Parks one and put Pereira out there. But really, they've been disappointing for the most part, the wingers. Sailmakers has had a poor game as well. I'm going to bring Iriarty on for him. I'm just going to demand a bit more because I'm not actually thrilled with his second half performance. The fact we've not seen any of it is a poor start. But I am going to take Santos off now, I think. Santos off on the right hand side. I'm going to bring Parks on for the cup final. He's been on loan at this club, of course, when we first came here. So Pereira off the right, Thomas Parks up front. 13 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Can we get a second just to make it a bit more comfortable? Or is it going to go all the way to the wire? For all we saw in the first half, for the utter dominance, we've barely seen a kick of this half. And now we've got an injury late on. Not at all what we wanted to see. Ryan Wright will drop into centre mid. We're going to drop to balanced. We'll play a 4-2-2-1. And we'll just try and get through stoppage time. It has been pretty comfortable. For all we've seen in terms of lack of attacking threat in his second half, we were comfortable on the ball. We didn't see any threat against us. And Tottenham Hotspur win the Carabao Cup final. Not the vintage attacking aggressive style we wanted to see. but a 1-0 win regardless. We're going to lift the trophy. We've got to be pleased with that. A Premier League last season, a Carabao Cup this season, and with Tottenham Hotspur, we are becoming serial winners. And at Wembley Stadium this time in a cup final, we win 1-0 against lower league opposition. European football assured for next season, another trophy in the cabinet as a manager and for the club. And after 21 years not winning anything, this football club has won 2 trophies in 2 years. It's exactly what the fans wanted, a big day out at Wembley. And now we've got to go and add to it. We're still in the FA Cup. We're probably out of the title race. We're still in the Champions League too. If we can add either one of those trophies, this would go down as a fantastic season. Sheffield United 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. 2 trophies, 2 years, a big success at Spurs. So, we've received money from the Cena deal that we were talking about earlier because he's played 20 league games. About a third of that seems to have gone to Boca Juniors. It's having an okay season in the Bundesliga, to be fair. With Hertha Berlin being one of the stars of European football at the moment, we might end up in that league at some point, so let's not rule out meeting him again. Carabao Cup is lifted by Tottenham. Montalval's out for a month. This isn't the stage of the season we can afford to get injuries. £111,000 in prize money. The board are delighted we've won a domestic cup 2 years ahead of schedule. I didn't know that was a thing there. But to get the club vision item out the way is great. The fans are delighted. It's the first time since 2008 we've won it. And there you go. With all the other big boys winning it year after year, we've managed to add ourselves to the honours list. Willems, it says a lot really that against a championship side, our keeper got man of the match. He is becoming world class. He's an absolute superstar. And he's still one of the biggest steals of this series. A wonderful deal from the director of football. He's becoming an absolute hero for us. If we go and have a look at ourselves now, I just want to see what that's done to us in terms of our profile, in terms of our reputation. We're a full 4-star coach now, Continental Pro licence. We're doing about as well as we can at this point. We won our first domestic cup in England. It's added to the fact that we won the Premier League. It's added to the fact that we won the Scottish Cup back in the day. And it's added to the fact that we won Scottish League 2 with Brechin as well. Don't forget that all those years ago. But this 10th season is going in style. We're starting to look like a wonderful side. And now it's all about what we can add to it. A brilliant season so far, a wonderful display. Let's go and have a look at the schedule for when we're next going to be back. We've got to worry about the Premier League a little bit, just looking at the competition screen, because we're as close to dropping out of the top 4 as we are to winning the title. So there is a risk that we could drop out. It's not set in stone that we're going to be there. The Juventus game should be pretty much done and dusted now, so maybe it'll be a quarter-final of the Champions League we're back for. You'd expect there's only going to be big sides left after this, certainly looking at who's winning the ties at the moment. Tottenham play Doncaster in the 5th round of the FA Cup. If you have a look at it, City are already out, Arsenal play Manchester United. We could avoid the big boys again here. We could get quite fortunate in this run. If we do, I wouldn't mind a domestic cup double. I've always said on this channel how much I love the FA Cup. I'd really quite like to win it. So fingers crossed, if we can do that double, I'd be quite happy. The Champions League's potluck, depends on the draw. But a really good episode. Let's have a look at the schedule. I'm not sure when it's going to be best to come back. We'll have our youth intake next time as well. We know that for sure. I think we're going to aim for somewhere around the middle of April, because we may well have an FA Cup quarter or semi-final. We should have a Champions League quarter-final based on a 4-0 lead we got in Turin. And even if none of that happens, we've got Liverpool away in the Premier League and City away in the Premier League. So there's going to be tough tests at some point there. If you're looking forward to that though, and you did enjoy us winning the cup final today, a slender win on terms of the score sheet, dominant in terms of the performance, please do put a thumbs up on it. A shame to pick up another injury, not the best day at the office for us in that sense. But another win, another trophy, we will not complain. If you want to see more and find out how we finish the season, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily videos released from 2 long-term stories, including this one. And there's links to all the other extra bits in the eye above, as well as the Twitch channel in the description below. A massive thank you for helping us reach affiliate there. It really does make a big difference, and I'm loving it at the moment. So I hope you continue to enjoy everything on both platforms, because I'm having a wonderful time making it. But a massive thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought of the final, of course. And what else do you think we're going to win this season? Do you think we'll stay in the top 4? Can we fix the away form? And do you think we'll win either of the other trophies we're in? Let me know in the comments before you finish the video. And I'll see you next time for a big game in some competition. We don't know which one it's going to be yet. It will depend on the draws. But it's going to be big regardless. We're chasing trophies. We're chasing the top 4. And touch wood, we'll be able to keep on track. I'll see you next time to find out if we can.